Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the fourth session on Bhagavad Gita. So today we will hear how to understand Bhagavad Gita, how to receive perfect knowledge without any mistakes. So some people say, I am rational. I don't accept irrational ideas such as faith. So while rationality is a vital tool in the human search for understanding reality, it is not the only tool. Even in science, which prides itself for its rationality, many major breakthroughs have come not through rational step-by-step analysis, but through inspiration stimulated quantum leaps in understanding. It took reason years or even decades to vindicate what inspiration had revealed. So, as inspiration gives real knowledge, it exemplifies ways of knowing that uh, transcendent transcend reason. Such ways aren't irrational, so they are actually trans rational. So, is there a trans rational level of reality? Those who claim there isn't believe that all of reality is knowable by reason alone. So, is their belief grounded in any conclusive reasoning? Uh, Given that reality is incredibly complex, as revealed by scientific advances in quantum physics, so isn't it reasonable to consider that reality might have levels unknowable by reason, right? So actually, everything cannot be proven by observation. Uh, like in quantum physics, there is whether uh, light is a wave or a particle. So when the uh, experiment is done, when the observer is there, light behaves in a particular way. When the observer is not there, light behaves in another way. So they are not able to decide whether uh, light is a wave or a particle. So in many instances uh, where science dependent on faith only, or some assumptions, like even till now they cannot prove I is equal to square root of -1. but that number, assumed number, is very useful in statistics, you know, like that. In the same way, max, E is equal to mc square, so this c is a Planck's constant. It is a assumed number. So but it has helped us a lot. So it's not that science is not based on faith at all. So the entire Darwin's theory is based on faith only, because till now nobody had proven that a monkey can become a man. So nobody had seen. Uh, did anybody see that monkey becoming a man? So they collect some fossils and some bones and all, and they assume uh, it's all faith. uh, in the same way, so many other theories, you know. So in our day-to-day life also, uh, we depend so much on faith. Just like when a mother gives food, if the child raises this doubt, if um, the if any poison is mixed in the food, so there is no answer, because it is based on faith that mother never will do that. you know. In the same way, if you sit in the bus, we cannot argue whether this bus is going to a certain destination. We have faith in the transport department that if the board is put, they will take you there to decide destination. So, in day-to-day life, faith plays a lot important role. So that is why we should not um, no, rule out faith in our lives. So faith is very sublime. So there are those people who believe in God. They have some logic. Uh, those people who do not believe in God, they also give some logic, right? But till now, those people who don't believe in God, they could not prove that God does not exist. It is their blind faith that God doesn't exist. If they had proven that successfully, that God doesn't exist, um, then nobody would be going to the temple. Uh, if you see Tirupati temple, millions of people they go now. So that only shows that somebody who has faith in God, their faith is based on some logic. Uh, so in uh, oncoming classes, we will hear more about that. So it is if you see, somebody has faith in God, nobody can break that faith like that. In the same way, somebody who doesn't believe in God, it is very difficult to break uh, their faith also. So, but uh, they have no logical reason to show that in this world we have never seen anything, you know, which is existing without being created. So, like that. So, when theistic people believe in God, they have some reason to back. That is, knowledge is coming from the scriptures, right? So, so actually, if we blind ourselves thus, you know, so won't we be subscribing to an irrational faith, you know, in rationality? So, freeing us from such an irrational faith, Bhagavad Gita invites us to explore, this reality beyond, this matter, right? So by process of yoga and all that. So today we will explore how to receive this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So, the Bhagavad Gita, as I mentioned, that is part of Mahabharat, which is part of Vedas, teachings of Vedas. So we should not mistake. Veda means Atharva Veda, Yajurveda, and all that. Veda means knowledge. So the Sanskrit verbal root of Veda can be interpreted variously, uh, but the purport is finally one. Veda means knowledge. So any knowledge you accept is Veda. So for the teachings of the Vedas are the original knowledge, right? So just like even the scientists also, when they create a gadget like a computer, they give you a manual, uh, how to operate that computer. In the same way, when God has created this world, he also gave the manual how to operate this world, how to live in this world peacefully. So that is called Vedas. It's not some book or anything, it is a knowledge, right? So, in the there are two states of a soul. One is conditioned state, another is liberated state. So, the difference between a conditioned soul and a liberated soul is that conditioned soul has four kinds of defects. The first defect is that he must commit mistakes. For example, there are so many great personalities like Mahatma Gandhi, John F. Kennedy, and so many others. They were considered very great personalities. But like just like Gandhiji, he was considered a very great personality, but he committed many mistakes. Even at the last stage of his life, his assistant warned Mahatma Gandhi, don't go to the New Delhi meeting. I have some friends and I have heard there is danger, but he did not hear. He persisted in going and was killed. Even so, like even Kennedy and all that. So there are so many of them, make mistakes. So we also make so many mistakes in our life. Nobody can claim that I have not done any mistake. That's why it is said to err is human. So this is the one defect of the conditioned soul. Another defect is to be illusioned. Illusion means to accept something which is not. Maya means what is not. Everyone is accepting the body as the self. If I ask you what you are, you will say, I am Mr. John, I am a rich man, I am this, I am that. So, all these are bodily identifications, but you are not this body, that is illusion. The third defect is the cheating propensity. Everyone has this cheating propensity in them. Although a person is a fool number one, he poses himself as very intelligent. Although it is already pointed out that it is an illusion, um, you know, to think that I am this body, still, they make mistakes. So, but he does not even know his own position. So he writes books of philosophy, although he is defective. That is his disease. So that is cheating. Lastly, the most important defect is, our senses are imperfect. So we are very proud of our eyes. Often someone will challenge, can you show me God? But yeah, Prabhupada always used to ask, okay, I will show you God, but have you got the power to see God? So you will never see, if you haven't the eyes. If immediately the room becomes dark, you cannot even see your own hands. You can't even see the nearest objects of your eyes, that is eyelids. So therefore, we cannot expect knowledge with this imperfect senses. In the science they have so much faith in the instruments, in the instruments, vernier calipers and all. So it is proven that you cannot have 100% accuracy in any measurements, according to Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. So, because our senses are imperfect, whatever is manufactured with the help of these senses, yeah, they are also imperfect. So that is why we cannot have 100% efficiency in engines, right? In the cars and all, their efficiency, they can never have 100% efficiency. We can never have 100% perfect measurements because our senses are imperfect. So whatever knowledge we get from these conditioned souls, who have these four defects. Number one, we commit mistakes. Number two, we become illusioned. Number three, we have cheating propensity. Number four, we have imperfect senses. So that is why, if we want perfect knowledge, so we should receive that knowledge from a perfect person, who doesn't have these four defects. So one is, like I already explained. So who is that person? So that person is God, Lord Shri Krishna. So we will explore who is God and all in subsequent classes. So that is why uh, we should know, how to understand this knowledge. So that is why God has made this arrangement to receive perfect knowledge. That is why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, imam vivashvate yogam proktavan aham avyayam. you know it is said that in the beginning I gave this knowledge uh, to Vivashwan, the sun god, and the sun god gave this knowledge to his son uh, Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku gave this knowledge to his son. So like this, imam vivashvate yogam proktvan aham avyayam. uh, then एवं परंपरा प्राप्तम इमं राजर्षयो विदुः सकालेनेह महता योगो नष्टः परन्तपा. He said that this knowledge should be received from through disciplic succession. Guru Sishya Parampara, it is called Guru Sishya Parampara. So it is said that any knowledge that is not received through Guru Sishya Parampara is not authoritative knowledge. Just like any doctor who says, I have received a certificate from so and so university, then we have to check whether there are so many, whether he received that certificate from that particular university or not. Otherwise, he is known as a quack. In the same way, if somebody teaches Bhagavad Gita and Vedas and all, and then is considered a guru, then first question you should ask him is, uh, uh, are you coming from a parampara which is started by Lord Sri Krishna? And so it is said that Lord Krishna started four colleges or parampara systems, right? So Brahma Sampradaya, uh, Rudra Sampradaya, and then Kumara Sampradaya, and then Sri Sampradaya. So there are so many gurus coming from like that. So in our parampara, we are known as Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Shri His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada. He is the 32nd Guru coming from Krishna. So whatever knowledge we receive through this parampara system is perfect and bona fide. So this Vedic knowledge is not something to be experimented. We need not waste time, um, experimenting this Vedic knowledge because it is already researched and experimented and realized. Realized. So we should simply hear this knowledge and apply it in our lives. So Srila Prabhupada says, for a common man, any knowledge he receives simply by hearing from an authority. So whether it is scientific knowledge or Vedic knowledge, one has to receive from an authority only. He as a scientist says something, and he has to receive it and accept it. So in the Vedas also, we have to receive from Vedavyas and other gurus. We have to just accept. So for a common man, he cannot research knowledge. We have to simply accept. But if they say that receiving knowledge from a scientist is very rational, but receiving knowledge from Vedas is dogmatic. Why it is like that? For a common man, it doesn't matter. He has to receive simply by hearing from an authority. So, from which authority you are receiving, that plays a very important role. Are you receiving knowledge from a perfect person or not? So that plays a very important role. So in the next class, I will little bit describe Pratyaksha Praman, Anuman Praman, and Shabda Praman, and then we will start hopefully first chapter Bhagavad Gita. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.